On behalf of Against the Tide Media and the fans, the amazing fans of The Chosen, which, by the way, The Chosen has reached 49 million views. So the next is going to be 50 million views. And I'll tell you something, I can't wait for that day. Maybe we should have a big party. I don't know what will happen, but we're all going to have a great time. The fact that we have second season now, they're going to start filming in the fall, is another amazing moment for the fans of The Chosen and the fans of all Christian entertainment, faith-based entertainment. Today, I am so pleased to bring Kirk B.R. Woller, who is a actor's actor. Kirk, thank you so much for being here today.
Honored and blessed and grateful to be here. Thank you so much, Darren.
And before we start, I want to give you a few accolades. Kirk has over 150 plus appearances in film and television. Now, let me just go over some of it. I think this is fascinating because it's full range stuff. So in TV, we're talking NYPD Blue, ER, NCIS, Criminal Minds, 24, Bones, Prison Break, and so many more. Along with two of my favorites, Lie to Me with Tim Roth and the classic, iconic X-Files. Come on, X-Files. And then in film, he's actually been in my opinion, two masterpiece directors. He's been in Flags of Our Fathers, Eastwood, and he's also been in Minority Report, Steven Spielberg. So he's been doing this for over 3 decades. And he, like I said, he is a professional actor. So that's something that I want us to continually bring to the forefront. And my first question for you, Kirk, is the obvious.
Yes,
when did you realize you wanted to be a professional actor?
Wow. I think the first time I was in 3rd grade, I'll cut to the chase. I was in 3rd grade. I don't know why. I still remember her name, Mrs. Chase. This was up in the Northwest in Seattle. She decided to make me the lead of a little class play. And this class play was only in the classroom. And I played Captain John Smith, who was formed the city of Seattle. Anyway, long story short, I memorized all these lines and I did it. And I don't know. I loved it. Suddenly, the other part of it was I was just kind of a shy kid and just stayed to myself. And she just thrust me. And then suddenly people were talking to me. And so I guess suddenly I found myself, I guess, relatively good at something enough that little kids, my classmates, would say something to me. And I guess I was shocked. And I think that's when it first hit me. So I would say 3rd grade. I guess I was 8. 8 years old. But then my folks are from Germany. They immigrated to this country in 1952. And so they wanted me to go to school, and I did. And so I have an undergrad degree in business and marketing. And I was actually the class president of my business school and had all these opportunities in sort of corporate America. And right after graduation, I upset everybody in the family by saying, you know what, I don't want to do this. And I guess, how old was I? 25? I said, I really want to pursue what I've always wanted to pursue. And I moved back to Seattle and I just started over as an actor. So I guess I really didn't get going on it. I didn't do any other plays or anything since I was 8 years old. So anyway, 25 is when I started.
Okay, so kind of a tricky question, but of your many roles in TV, do you have a fave film role?
It's a great question. I'm like, I hope this doesn't sound pretentious, but I'm not a person that, I don't have favorites. And I'm not trying to be difficult. I just don't. And the reason I think for everything, I don't have a favorite color, I don't have a favorite film, or I just think there's value in everything. And so every role that I've played and every relationship that I've had as a human being, I just think there's value in all of that. So I don't like to make a hierarchical list. I would just say that I love it and I love what I do. So I don't know that I have a favorite. I'm going to say all of them are my favorite.
There you go. Fair enough. Interestingly enough, we actually have a connection, and it is a film. It was made in 2009 called Like Dandelion Dust.
Yes.
And yes.
Great.
And the producer of that, Carrie David, was the very first person that I connected with when I started my whole screenwriting aspirations, which at that time I was late in life and people thought I was insane. But Carrie David was the first person that came into my world and said, look, here's what you do, here's what you don't do, kind of a thing. The reason I bring that up is to mentor someone is so important. And that leads me to my next question. As a working actor, you have created an amazing platform called ActorKlass.
Thank you.
And I would like to, and I know the fans would like to hear more about that, because I think I've done a bunch of research, but I want to hear more because I think it's magnificent what you've done with that.
Thank you. Forgive me. I really want to do a good job of explaining this, so forgive me in advance if I'm a bit long-winded. But I think it deserves a context and the reasons for it. First of all, in all my travels as an actor throughout the years, so many people have always said to me, where did you train? How did you get started? What did you do? So I'm always asked that question. So that's something that really struck me. The other thing that always struck me is actors themselves. As an actor, you don't work all the time. You don't. Even if you're a series regular, and I guess depending on what role you have, you could be incredibly busy, but most actors have a lot of downtime. Even when you're working on a job, you have days off within the job. And over the years, I've just always thought to myself, there are these amazing working actors that I've respected for a long time, that I've worked with, that are so good at what they do. And I thought to myself, they have all this knowledge, they have all this experience, and they just sits there in their trailer every day. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't go anywhere typically, because most actors, myself included, you just want to focus on the work. You don't want to have a lot of distractions, or you just want to keep your focus on being an actor. And so, but the more I thought about it, I thought, these people have all this experience and knowledge. They're over here. And then you have these people all over the world that, how did you do it? Where do I go to school? Where do I start? And I thought to myself, I'm going to find a way to connect those two people, because this is valuable, incredible information that I think is going to help a lot of people. It's here, it's available, but there's no means to get there. So I use the analogy of Uber. You know how Uber took people who wanted to get a ride and they hooked them up with people who needed a ride, right? Like people who wanted a ride and people who could give them a ride. And so they created an app, and it's called Uber. And so I'd like to think of ActorKlass as the Uber for actors, meaning it is a bridge between those that want to learn how to be an actor, connecting them with those who are an actor and can help them achieve their dreams and give them, I guess, a ride. There's a new metaphor to their success. So that's really the foundation of ActorKlass, is talented actors helping young aspiring actors. And they don't have to be young. I mean, Robert Mondavi started his bigger winery in his 50s. So it's never too late. And so you don't have to be young. It's just, I just think there's a lot of power in learning from somebody who's actually doing it, if that makes sense. And the other thing I wanted to say about ActorKlass is I started this the beginning of 2018. And so I thought I had a kind of a cool revolutionary idea, and that was to teach online acting classes, because there are people all over the world that can't come to Hollywood. There are good teachers here in Hollywood. Most of the actors are here in Hollywood. They can't come here to learn. So my idea was, in that Uber, like ActorKlass is kind of the app to connect them. People in Germany, in France, in Africa, wherever, Japan, could connect with Hollywood actors. And so I saw great value in that. And I thought I had a revolutionary idea in 2018. So I started building the website. I started putting things together. I started talking to my actor friends. And anyway, it took me a year to kind of get it all together. And then 2020 started. It was beginning of 2019. Sorry, not 2018. So the beginning of 2019 was where it started. Then at the end of 2019 is when I actually sort of opened the website. And then we all know what happened 2 months into 2020, COVID. And so suddenly now every acting teacher, it wasn't being done, who would teach a class live was now using Zoom to teach acting classes online. And that was not being done when I started this idea. So my innovative idea just went out the window, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? So, what I think is unique about ActorKlass, and what's different than I think most programs, is that you're learning from working actors. And these are guys who are working. And if you go to ActorKlass.com, you'll see some of my mentors there. These people work all the time. They're talented. And above all, to me, good people. That's really, really important to me, because learning the craft of acting is a very delicate thing. It's very personal. It requires a great deal of vulnerability. So you need to be in good hands. And trust me, there are a lot of bad apples out there that think they know everything and can really destroy a person's self-esteem and self-confidence and just not take them down the right road. And I saw a lot of that too, and it broke my heart. So that's the other part of ActorKlass, is these are good people. These are people you'd want to hang out with. There's no bad apples. So I think being a good person is really, really, really important. So anyway, as I said, I'm being long-winded. I'll wrap it up here. ActorKlass is just that. It's a place to connect. And mentoring, you talked about Carrie David being a mentor for you. I had two main mentors in my life as an actor, and they influenced me in a very large way, not only as an actor, but as a human being. And if you go back to Japan, the samurai, or the samurai sword building, or the art of making tea, this is how we used to learn. We used to learn from the person that was an expert at doing it, which is, I think we got caught up in this system of colleges and universities where you have one teacher and 50 students. And so one-on-one mentorship and getting answers to your questions, specific questions that are only you could know. Like, what do I do when I enter? Do I enter the audition as the character? Like, do I do that? Or do I say anything when I walk in? There's such specific things that a working actor is going to know how to answer. And I think there's great value in that. So anyway, thank you for that long-winded explanation, but it's mentorship at its best.
You think it's long-winded. I mean, the fans are going to love this because, hey, we're here to hear from you. And again, we appreciate that you're here today. So look, let's step into the chosen land, shall we? And discuss your role as the Roman Centurion Gaius. So, and we're going to start now. We're going to go into fan-based questions because there's a gazillion fans. Start with Catherine Manning. Catherine says, how did you and Dallas meet? And what was your favorite part of working with him over the years?
A friend of mine was reading a book called Left Behind. I live in Southern California. She was in Texas. And she said, they're turning this book into a movie. I think you would be great for, I think it was I think it was basically the bad guy, right? She said, you'd be perfect for this. So I said, okay. So I literally took my actor's reel and wrote a letter, and I mailed it to the production offices for the film production of Left Behind. Cold. My agents didn't do it. I just did it. I said, okay, let's go for it. 2 days later, I think 3 days later, I got a call from Dallas Jenkins and one of his producing partners. That's where the relationship began. So what was that? 2000? That's where we started. And they didn't end up making Left Behind series. Somebody else made the film. But Dallas started with a film. It was originally titled American Leather, but it was called Hometown Legend. And so that was my first working experience with Dallas Jenkins. And so I guess that was back like in 2000. And the second part of the question is, so that's where we met, and that's where we started. What I love about Dallas most is, again, he's just an amazing human being. He's the most loyal and honorable, one of the most loyal and honorable men I've ever met. He's just kind. He's a great husband. He's a great dad. And I don't know if I have a right to say this kind of stuff, but I've seen him like mature or change. And he has grown into such an amazing, to me, leader. I even texted him the other day. He had that video where he was on the farm and it started to rain. And I just had to text him because he's such a good orator. I mean, the way he talks, and he can just say that I'm just not good that way. And it's so impressive what he does. He's grown into such an amazing leader, and he understands film. So he's just a good man. So what I love about Dallas most is just who he is as a human being. And I love working with people like that. And then on top of that, I think he's incredibly talented. He studied as an actor for a while. He knows what good acting is. He has a great keen eye for the truth. He knows how to cast clearly. If you look at The Chosen, I don't think there's a bad beat in anyone's performance. People are real and they're filled with integrity, and that's because of Dallas's eye.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So I hope I answered that question. He's an amazing man, and that's the biggest part. And then the other part, he's just talented. It's just great. It's really, really exciting to be a part of basically everything he's ever done. It's like I'm blown away by his loyalty. Just blown away.
I hope to meet him someday. I want to give him a high five.
You've never met Dallas?
No. Nope.
Oh wow. Yeah, he's a good man. He's a good man.
I like his style. I like the way he does things. His heart comes through on his sleeve, and for a film producer, director, writer, he's very transparent, and that vulnerability is risky. It's risky, but he doesn't care because, look at the quality he's getting from The Chosen. He doesn't care. He wants that quality. Got to be transparent to get that. So another fan, Jan Moeller, asks, curious how you got the role of Gaius, and what's your favorite part about playing the role?
I got the role of Gaius. Dallas called or texted, I can't remember which, and said he was asking if I was available. And for him, I'm always available. So I said, absolutely. So he asked me to come in and audition, which is pretty standard because he doesn't make the decisions all himself. So I went in and I auditioned, and I ended up getting the role, thankfully. But there's never any guarantee because he's not the only decision maker. He works with producers and so forth. But yeah, the old-fashioned way. I was asked to audition, and I auditioned, and I'm lucky enough to have gotten the role.
So we realized some of these questions were kind of playing out of bounds a little bit. You might not be able to answer them, or maybe you don't know. Oh. Fan Virginia Heimel asks, any idea if your character will show up in future seasons of The Chosen? Gaius, and she mentions scripture. Gaius is mentioned in Acts 19:29, traveling with one of the apostles, traveling with Paul. I think it's a good question, but we understand if you can't divulge too much at this point. But do you know anything?
I can honestly answer this question with the following. I have no idea. I really don't know. I'm not trying to be a tease or anything else.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair.
I think the actors are the last to know. So I really don't know if Gaius is coming back or if he's continuing. But I will say this, on a deep emotional level, I hope he does. Because that would be such a profound honor. Because I think it's, sorry, man. It's such an amazing story, and yeah, I hope he comes back. Sorry, I'm getting all choked up here. Forgive me.
No worries.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's out of my hands, which is actually a beautiful metaphor for the whole thing. Much like Dallas says, it's God doing his work, right? And so he's just sort of a vessel for that.
I think all of us would say that it doesn't really matter what happens with this project because that's in God's hands, because the experience of making it has been such a refining experience.
I see myself in the same way. If I'm blessed and honored enough to be there, I'll be there. If not, it was an amazing experience for which I'll always be grateful. So I accept what is, but I don't know the answer to that question. But I hope he's back.
Well, I hate to piggyback on the emotional content, but fan John Carillon, not me, John, he asks on a personal level, how was this role and overall experience with The Chosen? How did it influence your life?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep my composure here. I've known Dallas and Amanda, his beautiful and lovely wife Amanda, and their kids, of course, for over 20 years now. And I've been a part of all their projects. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, man. I wasn't expecting any of this.
Hey, look, take your time.
Okay.
Take your time.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was so much emotion caught up in all this. I just think Dallas and Amanda are beacons as human beings in the world. The world is filled with a lot of just not good people, And so Dallas and Amanda has always represented decency and kindness and hard work. And I've known them for 20 years, and we've had debates. And I'll be completely transparent. I'm not a Christian. But Amanda said something to me years ago, which was one of the best compliments I ever thought, because we would talk about Christianity and how does it work and why? And we've had amazing debates and conversations on mental illness. It was like they always accepted me. They never have and still haven't ever forced anything on me, any beliefs or anything. They're just amazing human beings, period. So we would always talk about spirituality, and I had my perspective and they had theirs, so on and so forth. And the fact that they continue to accept me is just unbelievable. I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Basically, the overall experience with The Chosen.
Oh, how has it changed?
How did it influence your life?
Yeah. But Amanda said something beautiful to me. I don't know how many years ago it was. I just flat out asked her, how do you feel that I'm working on Dallas's projects or something but I'm not a Christian? And she said to me, she goes, Kirk, you're a better Christian than most Christians we know, which blew my mind. And of course, I was very grateful for those beautiful words. So my point, I guess, is how has it changed me? I don't know that it's necessarily changed me, but I am blown away by the fan base. I'm not one to, I'm comfortable sort of talking about myself, and I've never done a lot of interviews or anything, and I've never done social media. I just started
Kirk, that's why we appreciate this so much. I did a bunch of research on you, and I know you just don't really do this. And I get that. I understand that. Self-promotion is really, no matter what you do, you got to come in here and you have to be let me talk about myself. And that's an uncomfortable area. So we appreciate it. We do.
Well, I'm grateful as well. And I think it's high time that I just share some things. That's what ActorKlass is about. It's time to also give back and to help. So if any of this, if it can help one person in some way, then wow, I'm honored and blessed. I've known Dallas for 20 years. He was doing films where he tried to be, for the faith-based, but not for everybody, right? Trying to make it wasn't all faith-based audience. He was trying to make, and here he is doing something that he knows so well. I mean, it's like this was what he was meant to do in many ways, I believe. He knows the scripture. He knows the Bible. He studied it. He knows the craft of directing and acting and filmmaking. And it's like it's all come together for him. So how it's changed my life, I think, is that I get to see that I get to witness such amazing beauty, for lack of a better word, and to be a part of that movement is amazing. And the fan base, the people, because I'm not on social media, and I want to say right now, I have somebody with ActorKlass that does all the Facebook stuff. So forgive me in advance that I don't say hi, or I'm sorry. I'm just not good at that kind of stuff. So if somebody reaches out, I mean, some things that they tell me about, but most of it, I'm not personally on there. So forgive me in advance. But what I have seen is I just can't believe how nice people are. Because I heard that, what do they call it? Trolling, or some people can be so negative online as part of I just didn't want to be involved. The fans are unbelievable. People are kind and humble and truthful and beautiful, and they just have good things to say. It's so like they're just positive energy on planet Earth, and I'm just blown away by that. So that is changing my life. And honestly, I would never be standing here doing this if it wasn't for The Chosen. So I think it's changed my life in those ways. I hope I'm answering the question.
No, you did very well. And I agree. I mean, this is probably for me personally, just a little side note, it's one of the most amazing communities I've ever been involved with, creative-wise, not just creative-wise, life-wise that I've ever been. Very, very honest people. Yeah, now I'm going to get all emotional, so I'm not going to go there. So let's. Here we go. I got a fun question.
Well, it's okay to be emotional, man. Go. Can you finish your thought? It's just you're saying.
It's just that I wasn't expecting this ride. I did this. Noah Bennett is, and you just met Noah and talked with him. He started this, and I had no idea what this was about. And when I started this ride not too long ago, first interview was with Giovanni Cairo, who, he plays Thaddeus. And Giovanni and I are buddies now. And I love the guy. He's a great guy. All these people just have hearts of gold. I've said it before, and I'll say again, Dallas knows how to bring people into the creative aspect of this to where it works. It's so authentic. And a lot of the authenticity is not just the talent of the actors within their roles, but the connection of the actors outside their roles. So there's a lot going on here, and you can feel that connection through the muscular narrative of The Chosen all the way through. It's probably the first faith-based show I've ever watched that I could barely get through scenes. There's certain scenes in it that I cannot watch without tearing up. I've tried. It's like I almost try like an experiment. It's like I can do it, I can do it, and I can't. And because there's so much emotion that comes out because it's so authentic. It's just so authentic. And so, so thinking about all this, I didn't see this coming. I didn't plan for this. And a lot of stuff that happens in life comes out of left field, but you have to be on the field, right? You got to be walking across the field. And Absolutely. So this has been for me a good ride. But again, come on, man, let's go back to you, Kirk.
No. I think it's really important that I think, I guess the Chosen fans are going to know this, but how much it's affecting everyone. Mm-hmm. And I would be so bold as to say Christians and non-Christians, mm-hmm. Everybody all over the world. And part of the reason is just the timelessness of it, but also and you said it beautifully, authenticity. And I want to say this too. I've had the great fortune of being on a number of sets in my life. And what's great about a Dallas Jenkins set, because as I said earlier, Dallas is a leader. He is an excellent orator and an excellent leader. And he sets the tone. he sets the tone. The number 1, 2, and 3 on the call sheet also sets the tone of the set, in my experience. Dallas sets a tone of humility. I mean, he's a hard worker. He'll go after. It's not like he's some kind of puppy dog or something. He works hard. He knows what he wants, but there's just a kindness, and it's an amazing experience to be on. And not like it's, there are hard days and there are easier days. My point is, it's just good people. And it's so rare to find that on sets. Typically you have a number of divas. You've got a lot of issues. You've got a lot of weird backstabbing going on between everyone. It can happen on crews and between actors. Mm-hmm. It's just not the case here. They're just good people. But again, Dallas is choosing these people. So it all goes back to who he is as a person and what he's attracting. So I think what we're both saying is wildly important. And that is good energy and good people and something filled with integrity is going to attract a lot of people.
Yeah, and Against the Tide Media, I mean, that's kind of our big push is, I mean, unabashedly, unequivocally, we want this to go 7 or 8 seasons because we want to hang out with you dudes and do that because you're good people and it's fun. And if I could look at this and go, we're a little fan-based company, but I think there's a lot bigger things going on here. And the stuff that's happening right now in certain areas, I've just seen a lot of absolute amazing connections with people in the short time that I've been involved in this fan base for The Chosen. And in Kirk, meeting you, this is glorious to me. That I mean, to hang out with you and talk and have a conversation that has meaning to it and it's thoughtful, it's going to stay with me. Every interview I do stays with me. Everyone I've met has added some beauty, some meaning, and some purpose to my life when I leave the interview. So let me stop right there before I, go into crying mode. Here's a good one for you. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
For fan Michelle Gregory, she says, I'm sorry. Michelle's funny. She's a very funny person. All the other Romans wore helmets in various scenes, but you only carried yours around.
I know. Could you feel it?
So what's up with that?
I'm going to start with the real reality and then work into the justification. I look like an idiot in a helmet. It's really that simple.
I can't pull off a helmet. I can barely pull off a hat, so I get it.
I have a small head. You put that one of those helmets on me, I look like a 3-year-old trying to look like a 20-year-old or something. I look ridiculous. In the costume fitting, I put it on and I was like, Dallas looked at me and was like, no. We both said it at the same time. So I said, it's not going to work. They're just big. The helmets are big and I got a small head. So that's where it started. But honestly, as an actor, I have to think that one through. Like, why am I not wearing a helmet? So my justification, just to give it a little bit of backstory, is I'm actually, I was trained on the stage and I'm an actor. I'm basically a stuntman for the stage. Rapier and dagger, broadsword, and unarmed combat. So part of my justification for not wearing the helmet is I don't think I need to. And I'm not in harm's way. I think I'm good at what I do. And when I'm guarding Matthew, I'm constantly, I know what's around me. So, and I'm not ever in battle. If I have to be in a battle scene or something, clearly I'm going to have to put the helmet on. But there's never really been a need yet to put that thing on. So, yeah. So that's the justification is I don't think I haven't really needed it yet. And then also I think it's a choice because I feel like I'm good at what I do and I'm not going to get hurt.
Well, it's absolute fair answer. And I think that she'll be very happy with that. So look, you mentioned Matthew. Why don't we just, this is probably the heart. We had a bunch of questions from fans on Against the Tide. But we kind of scheduled this particular interview really quick, and it was nice that you just said, sure. But we didn't give a lot of time for the fans. But I know across the board, one of the most endearing, powerful connections for the characters on The Chosen is Matthew and Gaius. So, and of course, Paras Patel plays him, amazing actor.
Great.
So your connection with him, is that just like great writing or great acting or a little of both? I mean, because it's just really authentic and believable and complicated.
I mean, it all starts with the writing, right? I don't get to say what I want. As an actor, you get a script, right? So it's really, there's great depth in the writing. So that to me is the biggest part. The other thing, and this is more of a point of view that I have as an actor, and that is that no one ever thinks they're a bad guy. In fact, everyone, as a human being, has a justified reason for why they are doing what they are doing. So there, in my mind as an actor, there are no good guys and bad guys. What there are human beings. Under these circumstances, under these imaginary circumstances, if you will, even though a lot of this is biblical and so forth, but still as an actor, under these circumstances. So I never judge a character that I play. And I played crazy psychopaths to loving dads. There are certain things I will not play for sure. Pedophile being one of them. Never, ever. I just can't even put my mind in that arena. But you, as an actor, you can't judge your character. So I never judged Gaius. Gaius is Kirk. I mean, my approach to acting is I have to earn the right to be myself under these imaginary circumstances. And I think what's important, it's the writing, but it's also, I think, what Paris and I bring to it. And that is, it is what it is. He has a job and I have a job. And that's sort of where it started. I had never met Paris before. And as an actor, you show up on set and you just kind of go for it, right? But the writing has, I always saw, I don't know, it's complicated. I could talk for hours about this stuff. This is actor talk, but I'm not even sure if I'm answering your question anymore, but.
Oh, no, you are. You are. Taking it.
So, do you want me to talk about the relationship, or I'm sorry, what's?
Well, yeah, let's actually, the next question, actually, it's my question. It seems to me one of the beauties of the relationship is the struggle. Let me figure out the best way to put this. The struggle for the audience to understand the construct of the relationship. I mean, is this a father-son? Is this a conqueror servant? Is this, because there's all these moments where all of a sudden we realize that Gaius probably likes Matthew more than he wants to.
I know some people that were mildly fond of your son.
And under the constraints of, at that particular time, the social classes and so forth. So I think that's one of the reasons that it works so well. So it's a very complicated relationship. Obviously, like you said, that's built into the writing, but I think actually it plays so well, and you guys are so proficient as actors. When you see you as Gaius, you're struggling for connection with Matthew, I think it resonates with the fans. So I think that you're right on track. I mean, all the stuff that you're answering, that was kind of my question. I was piggybacking the last one, but this is one of probably the most endearing relationships in the whole construct of The Chosen, because we're looking at Rome and Israel, right? And breaking down barriers where all of a sudden you realize, hey, Gaius actually cares about this kid. He can't admit it, but he does. So I think the fans would probably like to have you just talk in those terms. I mean, how did you see that when you were playing Gaius with Paris?
I want to say that there are some that believe otherwise, but we don't get to choose who we are. I was born a white dude. Some people are born, obviously, all of the colors of the rainbow, right? Everyone. Some people are born with ailments. Some people, we didn't ask for this stuff. So I didn't ask under the construct of the story. I didn't ask to be a Roman. I didn't get to choose to be a Roman. I didn't get to choose that. I was born into that. just the way Paris was born. Matthew was born into what he was born into. He has an ailment. He has OCD, right? Or some variation of that.
You're a little off, aren't you?
He didn't ask for that. So I think it's inappropriate and wrong to getting back to judging a character is you cannot judge anyone because everyone is just trying to do the best they can. And so this is the way I approach all of my work. But my relationship with Matthew, you asked, what is it? I think it's everything. I think it's growing and I think it's changing. But it's based on what's happening in the story. I mean, he's helped me. He's been there for me. I've given him a hard time, but there's so much humanity, certainly with what Paris is doing. How can you not be intrigued by that or love that? And so I see I'll just talk about not the actors, but I just see in Matthew this kid who's struggling, this young man who is trying to come of age and he's trying to figure out. We've all been there. So I'm still trying to figure it out. So I just try to infuse as much of that into my work as possible and just listen as much as I possibly can and allow it to happen. So I think we're all of it, conqueror and father, son, friends. It's everything. Life is complex. People are complex. That's just the way it is. And yes, I've always seen what the two sides represent. And I always felt as an actor and as a choice, that is a far stronger choice to see that dilemma play out between those two opposites. If you really want to think about it, we're both kind of outsiders. I came from the Germanic background, and so my people were sort of conquered. Same with him. There's a lot of similarities going on.
Gaius, I've reviewed your service records. You're Germanic.
My people were.
Powerful warriors, even if they did surrender.
I believe they sensibly joined the winning team, Dominus.
Sensibly.
My only allegiance is to Rome. I've trained to fight for her since I was a boy.
I just always try to deal with Matthew with respect, but I'm also who I am, right? I'm a Roman. I got the power here, so shut up, right? I could play that, and at times I might have to, but that's really not what it's about. It's about the humanity that's underneath these things. I hope I'm doing this justice, but I just think it's a great metaphor with all that's happening politically right now, even, between Black Lives Matter and the Me Too movement. Everyone has a voice, and we can't it's so easy to judge, and you just can't do that because no one asked to be born the way they were. And so we have to find the humanity in each other and take that journey. And at the end of the day, everybody has a job. So I guess we'll see where it goes. I hope I'm answering that sufficiently. It's complicated. I can't quite put my finger on it, honestly.
Absolutely. This has been delightful. Okay, here's the deal. We always do this. Against the Tide Media has this long-standing bylaws that really aren't even written, but we always adhere to them. That we always give the guest the last word for the fans. What might yours be today?
I'm going to make this the first, middle, and last words. I would just like to thank all the chosen fans for embracing the character of Gaius, accepting him, and seeing his journey and trying to figure out what's going on with life and the world. And so I really appreciate people's ability to see that. And I'm blown away, and I'm honored, and I'm grateful for all the kind things that you said to me on social media and for your love and support. I'm just blown away. So I guess really what I'm trying to say is thank you.
Well, there you go. That's a good way. Love it. And heartfelt. Listen, Kirk, this has been such fun.
Thank you.
We so appreciate you taking the time. We know you're busy. We know you're doing all sorts of things. But to
We're all busy.
kind of step in and say hello, we really, really appreciate it. Here's to season 2, and we hope to see Gaius in whatever capacity. And I think we'll be seeing you again. So anyway.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm so honored and grateful to be here. This has been an amazing opportunity for me. So I'm deeply grateful to both you and Noah, an incredible young man. So thank you so much, Darren.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. So on behalf of Against the Tide Media, another interview with an amazing person, an amazing show, The Chosen, which is going to hit 50 million views in the blink of an eye. So everybody have a good night and a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
And out. All right, Kirk. Awesome.
Should've known we'd bring trouble. Trouble gonna find you here. Trouble. Trouble. Trouble.
Hey, it's Dallas. I'm the creator of The Chosen, and yes, season 1 of The Chosen is complete. All 8 episodes, they're available right now. You can look up The Chosen in the App Store or Google Play, and we're easy to find. You can download it and be watching within minutes. And in fact, it's unprecedented technology. You can connect to almost any device you have directly, and you don't even need a subscription. So I hope you'll check out season 1 of The Chosen right now.
Noah likes doing gag reels.
Gag?
You know, if you sneeze and you blow booger all over yourself, he'll include it just because it's good outtakes.
I don't know that I was ever funny.
Well, no, it would be the stuff that's kind of outside the interview. And you know, we didn't really get too ridiculous anyway. Boom.
And you never know what might happen. Again, you never know what might happen.
Noah, we're recording.
Yes.
Oh, Kirk is coming in.
Here.
There he is. Let's see.
Okay.
Should I admit him? I don't know if I want to.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, probably.
Hello, Kirk.
Hello.
How are you? He's connecting to audio.
Audio.
Hey, Kirk.
Hey, Kirk. How are you?
Good, guys. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much.
Good.
Thank you so much. It's
Thank
good
you.
to see you.
Likewise.
Really appreciate it.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. You can hear me and see me, right?
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, I've been working on the lighting. I'm not so convinced because my glasses just take glare, but I just don't know what you're supposed to do with that. I think that is almost a magical equation, so I'm not going to worry about it. So I'll just kind of keep my head turned down a little bit.
Sometimes I think certain glasses, they have like I don't know what you would call it, but it's something that keeps the reflection down. So when I've used
had
glasses
those before, and I should have bought them, and these do not have it. And the ones I had before, the glare, they have a coating for glare, and
it's like a green thing.
So next time, gonna do it. So anyway, Noah, what did you said that you wanted to be on here? Did you have any specifics?
Well, first thing, you might want to give the guest record permission just in case something happens during the recording.
Okay,
give that. Our new,
how do I do that?
By the way, Noah, pleasure to meet you, sir. You've been so kind and how old are you, by the way?
I'm 13.
13. My son is 12, and I'm really impressed with what you put together. This is basically your idea to create this Against the Tide Media, correct?
Yeah, it was. I basically started out as a bored YouTuber who only posted videos of his dogs, but and I saw The Chosen, and then they kind of changed all that, and then I just as soon as I saw it, it's like, this is what I want to be supporting.
Yeah, and answer that more fully, Kirk. What happened is he connected with me through his older sister, Jenna, who was running a fan site for the Encounter series with Pureflix. And it was Giovanni Cairo. That was the first interview we did. And from then, it's just kind of went ballistic as far as, the interest is incredible. We're so glad that second season is here. That's kind of what our ultimate goal was. But we're going to continue on. And I'll tell you, the community, the actors and stuff, are just amazing people. All of them. Everybody I run into, like Nick got a hold of me last night, Nick Shakur, and he's like, "What's up, Darren?" You know, and they're just good guys. You probably know this. You were there. So
Yeah. Well, thank you. And so, Noah, I just want to congratulate you, young man. That's amazing what you're doing and how you're spending your time and what you're choosing to do. It's very impressive. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, it hasn't, exactly been the easiest of things to do, even though I love it. But it's been a lot to keep up with the fan base and the constant amount of interviews we have coming in now. I actually have our next interview uploading right now. But
well, that's great. I mean, it's a really worthy cause. But again, at 13 years old, for you to be putting something like this together and to be on top of it the way you are, and as they say, anything, hard work is what it's all about. So I'm not surprised that it's hard work, but anything of value usually is. So again, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. So how do I give him rights to record so we don't? Yeah. How do I do that?
You guys, hang on before you give me any rights. You guys are just going to record it, right?
Yeah. We just want to make sure that if something happens on our end, you would have a recording on your end. And you. For you guys to use too, you mean? Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Tell me. It has nothing to do with rights. I trust you. But tell me if I can make a recording, how to do it, and then we'll have 2 copies. Yeah, good idea.
Is it the 3 dots?
Yeah, the 3 dots. If you hit the 3 dots.
Okay, I got that. And then
video corner.
Mute, top, pin, spotlight, rename, hide cell.
I see a thing that says recording, but I don't know. Do I hit record too? There's a record. Noah, there's a record button on the bottom of my screen. It says share screen and then record. Do I just hit record myself?
Well, you can try it, but if something pops up says, please ask the host to give you permission to record, then
if it works,
it says please request recording permission from the meeting host. I click OK.
And okay, Darren.
Yeah.
You are hovering over Kirk's square.
Got it.
Okay.
Go up to the 3 dots.
3 dots.
Yeah. And allow record. Right? So he should begin.
Host allows you to record this meeting. So do I hit record again?
Yeah, if you do it again, it should work.
Yep.
And then
it says recording.
Yeah, it should be in the upper left corner. You should see recording with a little red bleep. Doop, doop, doop. And that means that we just decided to do that because of some of the stuff I've done, right, Noah? Forgot to hit record.
With Nick Shakur.
Nick and I didn't take to this outrageous interview, and then at the end I looked up and I didn't record it, and I said, "Hey Nick, what are you doing for the rest of the day?" He was a good guy about that. We don't want to do that with you, Kirk. Okay?
No, it's all good. It says recording, but then it goes away as my screen. Is it okay? I guess am I doing it right, Noah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Our goal is to see me at the very least that we can do and see you as much as we can, because the fans are like, they want to see what you have to say about the series. Because, I mean, you're like hugely popular in the series. So what do you think now of the response? It was amazing. People were kind of went a little crazy. I liked it.
And I mean, this has been one of the most requested interviews that we've had for Against the Tide. I mean, because your relationship with the character of Matthew,
yeah, you and Paris, there's something extremely magnetic about that relationship within the narrative of The Chosen that people just resonate with. So we'll be talking about that. You are driving this. You are at the wheel, and we want to do right by you. and we will.
Thank you. I'm really honored, gentlemen. Thank you.
So anyway, no, I guess we'll hit this. I'll Dropbox it when we're done, and we'll go forward.
Okay.
Thanks, Noah. And thanks for helping me. I probably wouldn't have figured that out. I'm glad you jumped on, so I appreciate it.
So are you leaving now, Noah?
One more thing before I jump off.
You guys talk. I'm going to get a drink of water real quick.
Now, Kirk, what view are you in? Are you in speaker view or gallery view?
Let's see. I don't know. It's not saying. What I see is all three of us on the top, and then I see you big below.
Yeah, then that would mean that you're in gallery view, which is probably best in this case. That way, if something happened with Darren's recording, you'd still have it recorded in gallery view. And that way, we'd still be able to see both of you. So,
okay, so leave it in gallery view, right?
Leave it in gallery. But again, you don't have to do, all you have to do is answer questions. I am going to direct from my end, and we don't want you to be worried about mechanics. We just want you to talk and give us the spiel, because people are waiting for it.
But how do I save the recording?
Noah? So when he leaves, it's going to ask him. It'll automatically create a video.
Yeah.
File. And all you'll have to do is wait, and then you can I'd put it on your desktop for now. Save it.
Oh, absolutely. I just want to make sure I don't sign off and lose the recording. So it's going to ask me, do you want to save the recording or something?
When you sign off, it'll automatically ask you if you want. I mean, you have to tell it not to save the file.
Gotcha. Okay. Great.
Skype works completely different. You have to tell it to
we had so many issues with Skype that when we ended up going to Zoom, it just works so much better, and it's so much more intuitive.
And then, of course, I got the call, and did that disconnect? No.
Nope, still going.
Well, that's weird because my phone is in airplane mode, and I got a FaceTime call, but you didn't see any of that.
Didn't see it, and I'm actually watching the record at the top and making sure every second's clicking off.
Okay, so
my eyes aren't moving too much.
And that's basically all I'm going to direct. Noah knows some more whistles and bells that we'll use down the road, but it's not right now. Not now. It's not working.
Okay. Copy that. Thank you.
So, Darren, will you be juggling in this interview?
You're a juggler? He's a juggler?
I actually, back in the day, I was a professional juggler a long time ago. So the last interview I did, I opened with juggling just for fun. I don't know what Noah's going to do with it. Who knows? Noah does all the editing, and he's really good at it. But I just thought something a little different. Just start with, I thought Justin might like that. So that's one of the reasons I did it. He'd be like, oh, way to go, Darren.
You didn't see that. Just edit that.
There was this comment I wanted to read to you guys. It was a question, and it was really funny. It made me laugh. Gaius, are you the centurion with more faith than anyone else in Israel? You are, aren't you? Don't lie.
That's great, man.
Who was that from?
Josemary Malvahill.
Oh, I don't.
Let me make the screen a little.
Is she like a new fan?
Yeah, she's pretty new.
Okay. All right.
Can you see that?
Wow.
Right there?
Yeah. Wow, that's beautiful. Amazing. The fans are amazing.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, well.
All right, now, thanks again. Like I said, standard fare. When I get done, I'll make sure I save under Kirk's name. Kirk, by the way, is your last name pronounced Woller? Is that correct?
Yeah, like an A, like a wall and an
Woller. Do you want me to use BR, your middle initials?
Whatever you feel like. I mean, Kirk Woller, Kirk BR Woller. I don't know. On IMDb, it's Kirk BR Woller, but
okay,
I'm easy.
I did a bunch of research on you, and I'm impressed. But we'll do that in the questions. You've already seen them. 150 production credits. Come on, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing. You're actually a working actor, and I know SAG and stuff, there are not very many people like you that actually do what you do. So congratulations on that.
I mean,
thank you.
I mean, actors, there are plenty of good actors out there,
but people that actually,
there are only a few actors who know how to, the basics to acting, that they can teach acting. Those people are few. Some people get off there and they're like, how did you do that? Like, I don't know. But there are only so many people who know how they just did that.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. Yeah, you've got to get to the point that things aren't an accident. You know why something happened, right? So yeah, you gotta work hard and train hard, because you're sort of asked to be a human being when they say action.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
You gotta know your stuff. So thanks, Noah. That's quite a compliment. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Well, anyway, I guess I'm gonna let you guys get to this, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and be talking to you soon.
Very good. And I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. Have a great day, and congratulations again on your fine work.
Thank you. Yeah, we ought to have you in more things. Maybe you can come in a Zoom room sometime.
What is that?
If it works for you.
A Zoom room is, it's a pretty wild ride. It's 9 people.
It's the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, it's the Brady Bunch, basically. Okay. Just did it with some of our hosts and some actors, and it's just basically the host asking questions from fans to the actors.
That's completely fan driven.
Wow.
So we have the interview hosts, and then we even had Justin Overlander. We had Lotta, Silva, Eden, Giovanni, and Nick, and George. And who else? Anyway, so basically, and then we just go around and do tag team, and the fans direct it all. All the questions are from the fans.
Absolutely. Let me know, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, you can check it out on YouTube, see what you think of it, and
let us know.
But looking forward to seeing.
If you're interested in, we'd love it if you were along for the ride.
Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you, Noah, again. I really appreciate it.
We really appreciate what you're doing, man.
Thank you,
Johnson.
Thank you. My pleasure.
It's my pleasure too. I'm very happy with this. I know that this is really a privilege and a blessing to be able to do this.
Absolutely.
For me as well. Good. It's a two-way street.
Okay. Be talking to you soon, and really looking forward to watching this interview.
Great. Thank you very much. Take care, Noah.
I'll send it on as soon as I'm done.
Take care. Bye.
And here he goes.
What a wonderful young man. Gee whiz.
I know, it's amazing. I mean, I've talked to Noah daily for quite some time, and it's the weirdest thing because I know he's 13, but he seems like he's about 40. and he has such a very specific goal with what he's doing with The Chosen. He's a diehard fan, but he's doing things specifically for the series to move forward and be successful and all that because he believes in it. Can you see my eyes? I'm looking right in your eyes, aren't I?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I do this, I'm looking right in your eyes on the screen. So what I have to do is kind of move my eyes down in and kind of look at your reactions and stuff and pretend that green dot is your eyes. And if you look at the green dot, it's exactly where my eyes are.
So you're suggesting, like right now, it looks like I'm looking at you?
You're looking right at me right now. My goal is to get away and get you on screen and hear what you have to say. And that's the thing that, that's our number one goal when we do interviews is this isn't about me. It's not about me at all. It's about you. So as soon as I can transfer to you, I will. And you don't worry about time on this. Like I said, and if you mess up, this, you're a professional actor. Don't worry about messing up. You could just say, hey, no. Let's pull back. Noah, let's cut. Okay. and then start over, and he'll go in. So we're not live, so we can explore things, and if we mess up, big deal.
Cool.
So my goal is to hit stuff as good as I can, but I mess up all the time. So, and you'll find that out.
We all do, so it's all good.
But anyway, we'll just get into it. The main thing is that, again, Kirk, thank you so much for being here. I mean, we're so jazzed to be able to interview you. We know that you're not, I've looked into this, you're not like a person that goes out and is constantly having interviews and talking about your life with people. So we want to do things right with you. That is our goal. And we want to give you, we want to give your voice full measure. So
thank you.
So anyway,
I'm really grateful. Thank you.
So I'm going to dive in. Noah, from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On behalf of Against the Tide Media, is that just like great writing or great acting, or a little of both?
Anyway, we spontaneously took a biplane ride. It was up, flying over the whole coast. It was insane, beautiful.
I've never done that. I've wanted to. I'll probably do it someday. Man, I'm just afraid maybe I'll pass out or something, but whatever. They could revive me.
It was awesome. Literally, the guy was at the Seaside Airport. We were just driving by, and I go, look at that. He's a big airplane buff. I said, look at that biplane. And then we went a little further and it said biplane rides. So I just pulled over.
Like, done.
And I just started talking, and there was one person. I said, how does this work? And anyway.
And out. All right, Kirk. Awesome. Well done. Well done.
Sorry, I was kind of talking.
Oh, that was awesome. You did a great job. Are you kidding me? I mean, trust me, the fans are going to love it. You were honest about stuff, and you're bringing. See, the thing is you're letting us into stuff that we don't know. You know also well, but we don't know, and you did it in such a way that I think the fans can access this and enjoy it. And I think that this was a really good interview. Really good.
Thank you. Wow, that's a big credit to you. You asked really poignant and good questions, and you kept it flowing beautifully, man. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Okay, Kirk, keep in touch. Thanks again for taking the time, and I greatly appreciate it. Can't wait to see the interview when he does this little ad.
Do you know when it's going to air or where it airs?
I've got a lineup right now, but I would say probably in the next couple weeks he'll post it. Yeah.
Right. And it posts on your page, the Against the Tide?
Yep.
Quick question. I'm going to click the X in the upper right, correct?
No, you're going to go to, if you look down below, do you see end in red?
I see mute, stop video, chat.
Oh, then maybe, see, I'm the one that's actually ending the conversation. So when
it says actually stop or stop recording.
Nope, you don't want that. Again, if you see stop recording and go to the right, does it say reactions?
Yes.
Okay, keep going to the right. Does it say end in red?
It says leave.
I don't want to leave.
As soon as I get this, I'm going to send it on. So he's got it and he can take care of it. So thanks again for keeping in touch. I'll talk to you soon. Take care, brother. Bye.
Have a great night. Bye.
You too. Let's see. End meeting for all.